Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, welcome to a deck building episode. Alright, so, there's already some cards that are just, I don't clearly this card goes in it because Questing Beast is a champion. What was it? Hallowed one, I think. Oop. So I've been doing a little bit of research on this deck already. And there's some cards that I already know that I want to put in here. You're just finishing up work. Now, does that mean you're not going to pay attention? Mr. Chef. Haunted one, not hallowed. Haunted one. And then criminal past, I think it is. Yeah. Oh, past. Shabam. All right, so we're gonna pull up EDH rec over here. You guys sadly won't be able to see it, but I will read, or I will Indominus Rex Alpha. Alright, so cards that I was gonna so this card's really cool. It's called Scavenge Brawler. Scavenge Brawler. So this card's really cool. It is keyword soup. Hey yo, what's up? So Scavenge Brawler. So let me read this card to you so you guys know exactly what this deck is trying to do. So Indominus Rex Alpha is a 2 green, a blue or black, and a generic for a 6/6 legendary creature. As Indominus Rex Alpha enters the battlefield, discard any number of creature cards. It enters the battlefield with a flying counter on it if the creature discarded this way had flying. The same is for first strike, double strike, death touch, hexproof, haste, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance. And then oh shit, I left my drink downstairs. I will get my drink in a moment. And then when he enters the battlefield, draw a card for each counter on it. So we're looking for cards that have ETBs, like, or not ETBs, with lots of keywords. So for instance, Baleful Strict has flying and death touch. So if I were to discard just Baleful Strict, my commander would come in with a flying counter and a death touch counter, and I would draw 2 cards. So the reason why I wanted these is because if I just discard like 5 creatures, my commander will get menace from attacking, or just for having it, and then this creature gets +X+O for the number of creature cards in your graveyard. And since I'm going to be pitching cards into my graveyard, I figured that would be really good. Haunted one is really great. It gives when this creature becomes tapped, it and other creatures you control have get +2/+0 and gain undying until end of turn. So what that does is that when it dies, it would come back with a +1/+1 counter on it, and then I get to discard and draw again. And that +1/+1 counter that it comes back with also will draw me a card too. So if I just decide to let it die and come back and not discard any creatures, it's just going to be a 7/7, and then I'll draw a card because it has a counter on it. And the Master Chef is the same thing. Commander creatures you own have this creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and other creatures you control enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. So so that's the idea of the deck. I will be using cards that are not as optimal. Like for instance, Leyline Prowler is a 3-mana dork with Death Touch and Lifelink, but it also adds for mana. So if it's later in the game, I can just discard it and then it gains Death Touch and Lifelink. I'll draw 2 cards if I don't need the mana. But this also, like, mana on turn 3 is really good. So like what would that means is I would have 3 mana on turn 3 and then I would have 5 mana on turn 4, which then allows me to cast my commander a turn early, which is really good. So I'm willing to have inoptimal creatures like Leyline Prowler for mana ramp because it's pretty decent. So mass reanimation like Living Death are really good because since I will be discarding my cards from my hand, I can just bring them all back. It's pretty spicy and fantastic. Realistically, when I'm looking at creatures, I'm looking at oh wow, I didn't realize that was $20, but I don't care. So I'm looking at creatures that have a minimum of two keywords. I feel like 2 is like the magic number. If it doesn't have 2, it's not really worth it, unless if it's like a 1-mana Birds of Paradise or something like that. So I'm looking at like cards like this. Like I don't think I would ever cast this for 6 mana, but if I cast my commander, it's getting 4 counters on it and I'm drawing 4 cards. So like for instance, this card, I would even consider casting this card because its attack triggers and block triggers are really good as well. So like creating a 3/3 beast is no joke, you know, and then drawing a card is also really good too. So like I don't, and like for instance, like I'm looking at the EDH rec page here and I'm seeing cards like Wilson where it's like a 2-mana Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Like yes, those keywords are good, but like I don't see myself casting Wilson on turn 2 just because. Like I want my creatures to do things, unless if it's like for instance Scavenge Brawler where it's like I'm getting 4 counters out of the deal. Like that's what I'm looking for. You know, I'll look at him later. So Birds of Paradise, Horn with of oh. All right, come on, cards, show up. There we go. We want Ornithopter of Paradise. So I'm looking at this card, Vengeful Reaper. Okay. This is one of those cards where like I don't think I would ever see myself casting, but it has flying, death touch, and haste. So haste is really important and flying is really good. So I could see maybe I could see myself maybe using that card. Sylvan Caryat is another really good Matadork because later in the game I might not need it. Lissa Sun Slayer. really good card. It's a 3-mana 3/3 with first strike and death touch, which is a nasty combo. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose one. I can draw a card and lose a life, destroy target enchantment, or return up to 3, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. All that is really, really good. So I'm looking at Nepultis, Null Priest of Oblivion. I didn't see this card earlier, but this is actually pretty good. This is like the stuff that I want. So Null Priest of Oblivion. It reads, it is a 2-mana 2/1 vampire cleric that I can kick it for 4. It's menace and lifelink, and then whenever it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So since I'll be discarding creatures, I think it's a really good way to go. Let's see. Triplicate Titan is another good one. So what Triplicate Titan is, it's a 9-mana 9/9 flying vigilance and trample, and then when it dies, create a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token with flying, a 3/3 artifact creature token with vigilance, and a 3/3 artifact creature token with trample. I like the idea of Weeping Angel as well. So what Weeping Angel is, it's a 3-mana flash first strike vigilance. And then whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, Weeping Angel isn't a creature until end of turn. And then if Weeping Angel deals combat damage to a creature, prevent that damage, that creature's owner shuffles it into their library. I think it's a really cool removal spell, but it also gives me 2 coolish abilities. I mean, they're not the best, but like I want to play it, so I'm going to play it. Yarok, the Desecrate. So that is a really good creature. It is a 5-mana 3/5 with death touch and lifelink, and if a permanent entering the battlefield caused a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So his bottom ability would trigger a second time, and then he would get double the counters because that's also an ETB. Or is that as? Okay, so it would just trigger the second ability, which is pretty dope. I like the idea of the Mimeoplasm being in this deck. The Mimeoplasm. I really like this card. It is a 5-mana. As it enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 creature cards from graveyards. If you do, it enters the battlefield as a copy of one of those creatures, with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the power of the other. So, like for instance, if I were to exile the Triplicate Titan and let's just say like Scavenged Brawler or something, so I could have it enter, or Scavenged Brawler is not necessarily, it wouldn't be the best second choice, but we'll say Elder Gargaroth, right? So I could have it be the 9/9, and then it would have 6 +1/+1 counters on it, and it would have this dies trigger on it too. So there's a lot of cool things you could do. So Winding Constrictor is another really good card. It's if one or more counters would be placed on an artifact or creature you control, that many of those counters +1 are placed on that permanent instead. And then if you would get one or more counters, you get that many +1. So it's it would double up oh, that's a cool art. So you would get another copy of it. Spark Double seems like a really good clone in this deck. Basically it would put a +1/+1 counter. If I clone my commander, I discard, it would become massive and have all sorts of keywords. Master Biomancer is another really good one. So Master Biomancer is not a creature I would discard. Same with Spark Double here. So Master Biomancer, it's a 4 mana. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a number of additional +1/+1 counters equal to Master Biomancer's power, and as is a mutant in addition to its other types. So just putting this out, all my creatures get an additional +2 2 +1/+1 counters. So with my commander, even if I don't discard anything, I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards because of the way this card works. Biophagus or Phagus, I'm assuming, is another good. It's a mana dork. When you can add mana of any color, and it would enter with a. If you spent that to cast a creature, it gets an additional +1/+1 counter. Because with commander, it is really important to get, like, if you're trying to win with your commander with commander damage and stuff, it's really important to try and get over 7. So 7 turns it into a 3-turn clock. So with it being at 6, it would take 4 turns to get to 21. 7 only takes 3 turns to get to 21. So there's two cutoffs. You want to get either past 7 or past 11. And I don't know if getting past 11 will be realistic, but I can definitely get past 7 pretty easily. So I don't know if I want to play cards with like Ramanop, Hydra. It has Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Like, Trample is great and all, but I don't know if I necessarily like the Reach. And Vigilance is pretty good, but like not necessarily worth it. Oh right, this is another really good card. So this is Warren Clux, Monstrous Raider. That is a B, not a V. Warren Clux, the Monstrous Raider. It's a really expensive card, but I'm pretty sure I have one of those right now, so it's not too scary. So Warren Clux reads, he is a 6/6 for 6. He has Trample and Haste, which is really good, so I can discard him and then reanimate him later. If you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many on each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead, and then if an opponent would do that, it puts half. So really good with my commander. So like, let's say if I do discard just Scavenge Brawler, right? So I discard 1 card, I would draw 8 cards because it would have 2 of each counter on it. It seems pretty sick nasty to me. I don't know if I want cards like Kitchen Imp. I like the fact that it has flying, and you know what? I'm going to put it in here for now. So it says Kitchen Imp is a 4 mana 2/2 flying haze, but it has badness. Oh god, my nose is getting all clogged up. But it has madness for a black, so if I have an extra black mana when I discard this, I would then be able to have it basically for that. Another really good card that I was looking at is Likeness Looter. The reason why I like Likeness Looter is because I could discard it to give it flying, or I can just pay X to clone it. Clone any of the creatures in my graveyard. And I mean, I have to pay the full mana cost, but like that seems really good. Then we got Thassa Deep Dwelling. Really good card. It's 6/5 indestructible. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, Thassa is a creature. So interesting thing, it is a creature everywhere except when it is on the battlefield and your devotion is less than 5 to blue. So if I were to discard Thassa to my commander, it would still get the indestructible counter because I can discard it. Again, Topiary, Stomper, really good card. It's a creature when it enters the battlefield, gives me a thing, and then I can also discard it to give my commander vigilance. Muldrotha seems just really good. So Muldrotha seems really good because since I'm going to be discarding creatures, he is a 6-mana 6/6. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast permanent spells. A permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. So I'm able to cast creatures from my graveyard. Seems really good. Arwen seems really good. Arwen, Weaver of Hope, because again, it says each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a number of additional +1/+1 counters equal to her toughness. She is a 2/1, but seems really good to just add that. I do heart myself a good old-fashioned worm coil engine. Worm coil engine. It's a 6-mana 6/6 Death Touch lifelink. When it dies, I get a lifelink and a Death Toucher. Selimgar seems really, really good. Specifically, the Drifting Death. Its attack trigger is pretty cool. It's like in this deck it would just in this deck it would just give all creatures -1/-1 when it specifically attacks, because I don't really foresee too many dragons being in the deck, but you never know. Titan of Industry seems pretty cool. So it is a 7-mana 7/7 with reach and trample, and then when it enters the battlefield, I choose 2. I can destroy target artifact or enchantment, gain 5 life, create a 4/4 Rhino Warrior, or put a shield counter on a creature you control. So seems cool. I don't know if it's going to make the cut, so I'm not going to put it in it yet. But here, Imaginative Rascal, really great card in this deck. So it has partner with Toothy. I'm going to read what Toothy does just to make sure, see if I wanted to put it in the deck. But if one or more creature or counters would be put on a permanent your team controls, you may put +1 of each of those kinds of counters on the permanent instead. So again, it's just a way to double up the counters on my commander. Okay. 29 creatures definitely isn't enough for my liking. So there was, oh, I forgot Archfiend of Ishnir. This card is ridiculous. So let me read this card to you. He is a 5 mana 5/4 flying. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. So I play this on turn 4, play this on turn 5. Play my commander on the next turn, discard my hand, give all their creatures -5/-5, draw 7 cards and just go crazy. It seems really good to me. Absolutely gross and disgusting. So there was a couple of other creatures that I was looking at that only have Death Touch, but I just really like them. It is, what's her name? Damia. Scarab God was the card that I was looking at. That's Scarab. Maybe not. Let's go to the enchantments tab here because there was utility artifact. Right. The Ozolith. Absolutely bonkers of a card. The $50 card, but whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters onto the Ozolith. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target creature. Really bonkers. And then we're looking at Luxior Gaiad's Gift. It's an equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it, and then equipped creature isn't a planeswalker, and the creature, in addition to its other types, the abilities can be attacked. I don't have any planeswalker in the deck, but basically it gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. So that's one of those ways to Great Hinge. Right. Great. Jesus, this deck is expensive. Now, I could in theory take Great Hinge out of something else, but this puts counters on creatures and I draw cards. That just seems really good. Dino DNA. Dino Dam. This is one of the cards that I really wanted to try out. It seems really good because I'm going to be putting creatures in my graveyard. I don't mind exiling a creature and then just making copies of them, especially if I make ways to get a lot of mana. It seems really cool. Agent. Agent's Toolkit. Really cool card. That is Agent Toolkit enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it, a Death Touch counter on it, a Shield counter on it, and then whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may move a counter from Agent's Toolkit on it to that creature, and then later you can pay 2 to sacrifice it to draw a card. Do I want Helm of the Host? That card's cool. Don't know if it's necessary. Virtue of Virtue yeah. Yeah, it was this one, and at the beginning of upkeep, no, that's not the one I was looking at earlier. I have one of these. I've been looking for a place to put this card. Journey of Eternity. On the back side is a land that I can pay 5 to bring creatures from my graveyard to play. Virtuous Strength. Yeah. Virtuous Strength. I like this because it triples my mana. I thought it was cool. But you can also return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. I think that just seems pretty good. Let's see. I definitely want to have a reanimation package in this deck. So let's do Animate Dead. Dead. Animate. I'm so bad at it. Animate. Let's see. Rise of the Witch. Rise of the Witch King. Each player sacrifices a creature. If you sacrifice a creature this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, seems pretty dope. This card seems really good too. Mandate of abandon or abaden. Choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. So I choose my commander. I'm going to destroy pretty much everything in sight. Oh yes. Let's see. Agendum's Awakening. This card's really cool. It's 3 black and X. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have different converted mana costs, X or less. Seems really cool. Let's see. I was thinking about like cards like Victimize. Toxic Deluge. So glad that's only $5 now. So Cultivate. Kodama. Kodama's Reach. Which one was that? It's the last one I was looking at. Entish Restoration, yeah. Entish Restoration. I kind of want to throw Dark Ritual into this deck, but I don't know. Shadow of the Grave. I don't know how important this card's gonna be. Just because, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it fits. Like, it's a really good card. So what Shadow of the Grave does is oops. So what that card does is it returns to your hand all cards that were from your graveyard that were cycled or discarded this way. Or discard it this turn, sorry. So I discard like 5 or 6 creatures, and then I can just get them back into my hand on top of drawing cards. But like realistically speaking, most of the cards that I'm trying to discard don't really matter. Like I'm not going to be casting them anyway, and then I'm already going to be filling up my hand again. So I do want a couple of protection spells. I like let's go with Malakir's Rebirth. Malaki. Malakir's Rebirth. The reason why I want something like this, because it can be a land, but it also, I can choose a creature, I lose 2 life until end of turn. When this creature dies, it comes to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So it protects my commander. Essence Flux seems like a good one. So Essence Flux, this card is just a blank card. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it's a spirit, oh, this isn't a spirit. Rid of that. Let's see. Ghostly Flicker. When do I return them? Return those cards to the battlefield under your control. It's immediately. Maybe. I could see that getting cut pretty easily. Got Reanimate, got Victimize. I like Culling Ritual, but like I also don't. Like I don't, yeah, it says -4 synergy. I was like, I don't know why Windfall's here. Top cards. All right, so what we're gonna do is I think I do want cards like Venom Throat because it's just gives it Hexproof plus flying and death touch. So Thrope. Venom Thrope. Flying death touch lifelink isn't really great. I mean this costs 4. Vigilance, Trample Haste. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get 2+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample. I mean, that seems okay. And Razor Forerunners. And attack or block. Hold on. There's a Ronas that let's hit Ronas here. So God Eternal Ronas, the 5/5 with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, double the power of other creatures you control until end of turn. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. When it dies, okay. So, because like in the thing it has this. Howdy. Send dudes. That's an awesome name, by the way. Okay, so not quite what I was expecting. Do I run Kefnet the Mindful? So let's God Eternal Kefnet flying indestructible. Kill the first card turn. So we're gonna put it in there because flying is really good, so is indestructible. I probably wouldn't. I mean, even if I do play this card, it's not that awful because I could draw cards if I really have nothing else to do. Like if my commander got locked out of the game, I could see that being something that happens. Let's check Bantu because I know one of them's really good. Yeah, Bantu. Destroy all creatures, land. Don't untap. That seems awful. God Eternal Bantu is who I was thinking of. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of permanents and draw that many cards. When it dies, you put it in exile. And put it third from the top. Okay. So not necessarily as good as I was hoping. I mean, Menace is also pretty good. I mean, maybe this card makes the cut. I don't know. Let's take a let's take a look. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead, putting it into your owner's grave, or shuffle up to 4 target cards from your graveyard into your library. I mean, it's okay. I think it's a really expensive counter spell. Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for stopping by, Send Dudes. I appreciate the help. But I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of counter magic. I mean, I'm probably gonna do like arcane denial. I'm not arcane denial. No, arcane denial. So I'll have like a little bit, but not a lot. And I'd rather just super efficient, but also not feel bad either. Thank you for your input though. So let's double strike. I want to look at cards in these colors. Advanced search, Oracle text, double strike. Search. All right. Do anything. It says double strike, but doesn't actually have double strike. Same. Man, there's just nothing that has what? No fucking shot. Why would they do this? Really? Like, really? No cards in that color combination plus artifacts. Just has double strike. Oh, fuck. Color. Blue, black, green only. Double strike. Damn, that's brutal. Huh. Wow, that's like just butters. You cast the spell, copy, token. Good creature has double strike as long as 2 markers are attached to it. Ace of Shattered. Just battlefield search your library for card. Solve. Oh, this card's not out yet. There are 5 colors among cards control. Beginning of combat. Like, wow. That's interesting. I really like that idea of aces. That seems pretty cool. Gavel of the righteous. Beginning of your turn, put a charge counter on righteous. +1/+1. Counter. As long as Gavel of Righteous has 4 more counters. Strike. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. I saw this card. This card seems interesting. It says reveal the top card of your library. Choose among them cards with flying, card with first strike, so on for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, destructible. Reach, trample, and vigilance. Put one of those chosen onto the battlefield to your hand and the rest. Oh wow, so you can get one in play, one in your hand, and then the rest go into the graveyard. That's crazy that not a single black creature, green creature, or blue creature has double strike just written on the card. And there's 0. Wow, that blows my mind. Back to the deck list. Let's put Myriad the Curse in here. The reason why I want Myriad the Curse, because it is flying, first strike, and haste. Haste seems like it would be a really good ability. Let's go ahead and put Gnawing Bat in here too. Or Gurmag Swift Wing. Because it has flying, first strike, and haste. We did Elder Gargamoth already. Did that. Vigilance, Reach, and Trample seems pretty Medicine, Lifelink, but I like the fact that it can reanimate. I like Carnage Tyrant, but I don't think Trample and Hexproof is enough, and I don't necessarily care for just like 7/6 Indestructible. Stonehoof Chieftain is a 8 mana 8/8 Trample Indestructible. Whenever another creature you control attacks, it gains Trample and Indestructible until end of turn. might be enough to just like, even if I cast it or reanimate it, it still does things. That's a huge maybe. But I'm already gonna have to be cutting cards soon. Oh right. There was specific cards that I liked that don't necessarily fit the deck, but seems pretty fun. Commanders, 3 colors. Nope, 3 colors. Sultai. I can't remember how to spell them. So, Zaxara. Seems like it would be fun. It is a 4 mana 2/3 death touch, and then I can tap it to add 2 mana of any one color. So it helps me cast my commander. I can give my commander death touch if I want to discard it. I don't have any X spells in here, so the last half doesn't really matter. But like, as I said earlier, I'm willing to sacrifice efficiency for potential other things. So, I was looking at Zimone and Dina as well. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, target opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life, sacrifice another creature, draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you control 8 or more lands, repeat this process. So like, I think it just seems like a cool card. I'm gonna, like, it's just fun. I'm willing to try newer cards just to experience them. I also just like Damia, the Sage of Stone. She is a death toucher as well. That at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. So I don't see that necessarily being a problem, but I just like Damia. So whoever wants to argue with me, I will fight you. Yeah, that's not actually true. I won't fight anybody. Like, sometimes I just want to look at good stuff. Not too much to ask. Let's see. Menace. Let's. Huh. Sorry, most of the Sultai commanders are just partner commanders. I'm just looking through them real quick. Let's see if I see anything exciting. As long it's your turn, commander will have indestructible. Let's see. When you spend this mana to cast a spell with converted mana cost 6 or greater, draw a card. Interesting. I don't have a keyword, so I'm not really that interested in you. Commanders you control have menace and death touch. Yeah. I wish it wasn't just commanders you control. Okay. Let's take a look at staples in full time. Let's get Beast with it, because I'm gonna try my best to not put Cyclonic Growth in the deck. I am not gonna put Villainous Whelp because that card is just way too hard to play in Commander. On spell table, do I want the Study of Ristics? I have one, so it's kind of tempting to put it in there, but like, how many of my cards say draw on it? So, I mean, this is a cantrip. I mean, that refills my hand. This card is a cantrip. It also draw on attack. She can draw me cards. Just in case if I missed it, I will be right back. I have to go downstairs and grab a drink. Here we are. Cheers, mate. Okay. So, I think Lightning Greaves is going to be a good one. Put in here. Lightning Greaves. I have one somewhere, so this is a land, but we're gonna do it anyway. Seiju indoors. On a tutor, growth spiral. Have Maya. Cradle. Sage. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Drifter doesn't seem so bad. Okay. Do, 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 do. All right, let's go back here and then let's take a look at the keyword pile to see if there's anything that I missed. Or the keyword versions of the deck. Okay, so nothing new so far. Oh, right. Here we are. Beast Caller. Pretty good. It's a mana dork that can only tap for creature spells. However, it has haste and it costs 2, so that's okay. So I could give my commander haste by discarding it if I wanted to. Vidge Reach Trample Hexproof. It does not seem good enough at all. Let's get Tulsi up in this bitch. Never be upset with the squirrel. Tulsi Bearer Secrets is indestructible, which is nice, and then he has to attack each turn if able, and then whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. You can never have too much card draw, in my humble opinion. Ooh, 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 do 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 do. Hey, got that. If near seems really good. Biophagus, we got that. Even Fleetwing, Flying, and Hexproof. I mean, that seems okay, but like, I'm already gonna have to cut stuff already. Do 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 do. All right, so Naya Keen-Eyed, or not, Nylea, sorry. She is a 5/6 indestructible. Creatures spells you control cost 1 less to cast. Then I can pay 3, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. Interesting. That is definitely something I'm willing to try. Let's go out of the hunt. Other creatures control have trample and then things. I just want keywords, baby. Bam. Do. Do. Do do do. I'm still tempted by Dark Ritual. Let's take a look at my removal / how much removal do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.5. 6. Means 7-ish. 8. I might want a little bit. Oh, it's double cheek. I don't know what you mean by that. Double cheat. Let's throw Assassin's Trophy. Just too good stuff. And it's cheap. Planner. Okay. Board. Dog moth. How much is Cabal? No. I might be able to squeeze that in for the budget. Because I have to go through all my stuff because I definitely know I have a Lightning Greaves. I think I might have an Ozolith. Pretty sure I have a spare Assassin's Trophy. I know like I have a Beast Within. I know I have some of these cards, so it won't be too awful. I might have an extra Reanimate. Let's all right, let's do lands now. Solar deck. Let's go with utility lands. Oh, Nesting Ground seems pretty good. Nesting Grounds allows me to move that. R&B. Uh, um, turn. I like Castleberg. Here. Uh, yeah. Let's get power. Boop. Cryo. Come on, load faster. C-A-G. Oh, there's no R. Dagoth. Dagoth Trio. Goth. Harbor. Over. Eating. What? Breeding pool. Road. Stadium. Water Grave. Catacomb. Orchard. Perfect pool. Wood. Cemetery. Cascade. Okay. Shipwreck. Marsh. Oh, Opal Palace seems really good. The reason why this is good is because it would enter with the +1/+1 counter and I would draw additional cards. All right, let's just start adding basics now. 23, yeah, let's add basics. Okay. That's 26 lands. I want 37. Oops. There we go. Okay. So how many cards do I need to cut right now? 12 cards. That's not too awful. I could see this card going bye-bye, so we'll just do that. Kind of like the haste on this thing. Let's check. Take a look. Wani Beast Tracker enters the battlefield. Search your library for a creature card with touch tuck. Oh. Wait, so I mean, maybe I don't like running too many tutors. Let's take a look at the creatures I have though. That is actually a really good card. Like, so what could I search? What was it? Death Touch. Tracker. Where to go? Death Touch, Hexproof, Trample. What cards would I want to search for? Good search for you. Search for you. Could search for you. I mean, I could search for a lot of my deck. I mean, and it fits the theme. So yeah, maybe I will keep it. But I mean, we have to cut cards. Oh no. That was actually a really good, my Shin. Thank you. You want me to call you Shin, Ao? Like, what would you like me to call you? But that was actually a really good include. That, like, wasn't on any of the, like, EDH rec stuff, which is actually surprising. So, yeah, I like this for the mastery animation. Oh, I wanted to add Nykthos Shrine. I think I have one of those lying around. Those Shrine Mix. I mean, half tempted, not gonna lie. Nyx Bloom Ancient. But we'll behave ourselves. So I can then get rid of... I think I can get rid of this blue source here. Let's see. Let's split this into curve. Mana value. So my one drops all look really good. My 2 drops are really good. As I said, I'm willing to go. I think I can get rid of this bat here. I don't really necessarily need this many 2 drops. And again, like, I don't plan on playing a lot of these creatures. I like this card. But how important is it? We'll leave it in for now. I like this card too. I could see maybe getting rid of Haunted One. Enter creatures you own. Comes tap. Other creatures you control that share creature type with get +2/+0. Gain Undying until. I think that's too good to pass up. Let's get rid of Ghostly Flicker. I think I only need 1 exile, like Flicker ability. Flying Death Touch Hexproof is really good. I've always been like with Victimize, like I've always struggled with that card. Alright. Yeah, this card's actually pretty good. I like it a lot. I mean, this card doesn't necessarily fit the build. I just really liked it. See if I can keep it. I think I can get rid of Kitchen. I mean, I like the haste on it. Then I can also pay a black to play it too. 9 cards, huh? I mean, this is tough. I think I can live without this. Oh, man. I like this card, but not quite the theme that I'm going for. Alright, how many creatures do I have that have higher than 4 toughness? Because I think this is just extra. So, I mean, obviously my commander. That's 2 creatures. Three here. Four. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. I think I can get this. I feel like my top end's really high. Like I have a lot of stuff here, but like this is simply just discard fodder. Most likely discard fodder. Like discard fodder, discard fodder, discard fodder. I can probably no. This is probably too slow. So I'll get rid of that. But like basic land for mana, no, that's can't afford that. Because I only have I mean I do have 13, but like I need to make choices and my top end seems really expensive, like really high up there. But yeah. Shin, yeah, I really like this because I mean this thing's searching for pretty much any creature in my library. There's only a few that it doesn't get. And it's really good early on for setup. 4 cards. I like Dino DNA. I like this card. It's like I can just play it early, you know? Soul Ring's obvious. How many ramp cards do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. I mean, I kind of would want 12-ish. So that's tough. This card stays because I have it. I have the promo of it, so I want to use it. I haven't had a deck that it would fit in. I think this is the one it will fit in. Oh, I didn't even count this in my ramp stuff. Wow, that's really okay. Let's see. I probably can get rid of this. It's cute. I kind of like the card, but I think I can get rid of it. That's just too many keywords. Maybe this, but I just like the mimeoplasm, so I'll deal with it. All right. I'll just take what I take. I mean, I have other I have a lot of hexproof creatures, stuff like that. I think. Go to this too. The 6 mana for reanimate seems pretty steep. And then huh. Uh, 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 uh. Mm. Do. I probably don't need Damia. See how many cards draw me cards. So my commander is 1, and that's a big one. I mean that's a cantrip, so I don't want to. And this sort of draws me cards. That sort of draws me cards. That draws me cards. This draws me cards. I think Damia stays. Let's get rid of Worm Coil Engine, maybe. Alright, let's give this a couple of test runs. Play test. It's I'm blind here. Perfect. This hand is like what I like to call poopy. Away. I got 3 lands. I have all 3 colors. I can do things, I guess. So we'll see what happens. So we'll start our turn, and we will play this turn 1. Turn 2. We will play this and play this guy here. Turn 3. We will play a swamp. 4 mana. I want to save this for him. So that's 2, 4, 5. So 1 more mana. And I get there. We'll play the boots. I mean, honestly, to kind of guarantee it, I think I would do spark double this. And then just turn this. And I'll add a counter. And then it gets 2 because of this 2. So then let's go to turn 4. I drew the land anyway, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So let's go ahead and evaluate here. That's 5, 6 mana. Let's go with Archfiend, I think. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this add a counter and it will get 2 counters. Okay. Then we'll go to turn 5. Okay, so we will play him. I was hoping to draw a land, but that's not the case. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So green, green, blue, blue, black. Yeah, it's fine. I have the colors. And then we will discard just this. So it will have flying, death touch, and hexproof. And then I will draw 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will play a land. And then play the boots. And then connect the boots. And then I will attack with a 6/6 flying death touch hexproof shroud. Seems pretty good. And then we'll go to turn 7. We'll play this island, I guess. We will Dino DNA. And exile it to this. Two, 3. Play Master Chef. And play this. It will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters on it, I think. So, yeah. Counter. So I have 6. That's a really good card. Nuts. We'll go to turn 7. We'll play our land. I mean, just playing this gets me. I wouldn't get these counters. That's disappointing. So it would get two counters. So it'd be an 8/8 flying death touch, fucking hexproof. I know, trample. That's not terrifying or nothing. Yeah, I mean that's what I would do. I would just do this. Anyway, let's try another game. Okay. Wish it could have been better. Again, I'm not gonna keep. Alright, 3 lands. I have 2 of the 3 colors, but I have a Gadama's Reach. That's fine. So, let's draw a card for the turn. Play this. Turn 2. We will play Biophagus. Go to turn 3. Do Cultivate, which will get me all. We'll get a forest and an island. Shuffle. Then we'll go to turn 4. Play the island. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe I don't. That's not cast yet. I only draw 2 cards. Not really all that great. So 3, 6. Okay, yeah. So we'll do this. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Cultivate. We will. Well, it will be a island play and force into the hand. Shuffle. And then go to turn 5. Play the forest. I mean, I I guess we'll do the. Oh, I forgot to search for creature. I played that. Well, I want something that has as many keywords as possible. Yeah, we'll get Questing Beast with this thing. Shuffle. And then we'll play you and discard this. So it will have flying, vigilance, death touch, and haste. Gonna get a +1/+1 counter. Add counter. Touch. Oh, that's really cool. Flying. Okay. And vigilance. So vigilance, haste, flying, death touch. We got a +1/+1 counter, so I will draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I already played a land, so we'll discard 1, 2. And then I'll attack with a 7/7 in the air. Then we'll go to turn 6. That's spicy. Play this. Then we'll play this. Attack. And then I would discard, flicker my commander, discard this, and then it would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different counters on it. So I would draw 7 on my end step. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And we'll just get rid of this, throw in my graveyard. Then draw a card for the turn. We'll nick those. We would choose green, so that would be 1, 2, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, X being 9. I would go and return. That's 3. That's 9. I would rather this over this. This is 4. This is 2. Damn. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is a cool deck. Start. Man, I keep starting a game with this guy. Let's see. Soul Ring, Breeding Pool. Don't have black except for in here, but I think that's okay. So we'll do turn 1. Oh wait, turn 1 Soul Ring. Turn 2 will shock, so that's 4 mana. That's fine. That's 3 or turn 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't cast this. Oh yes, I can. 4, 5. Let's not cast him yet. Green, green. This. And yeah, so green, green, and colorless, and then black, or green, green. So you have a counter. You would be a 3/2, which is kind of nice. And then turn 4. All right, you were actually a pretty decent draw, because then I can discard you, and I mean, doesn't help like with it, but so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play this. It will get 1 counter for this, 2 counters for this, and then I'll discard this and this, which will get it 5 more counters, and it would have flying, death touch, and haste. So it would be 5, 6, 7, 8 cards I'm drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'll play my land for the turn. And then I will discard Cabal Coffers. And XR probably. 5. Play. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5. Hold on. Do 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 6 for 6 for him. this will get 6 counters. Because 1 for here, 2 for here, and 3, and doubled. And then because then if it were to die, this dies, comes back, it would come back with, all right, so discard this. So we'll get 2. So that's, oh, it doesn't. It would have Death Touch and Lifelink. It would have 6 counters on it, or 4 counters. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would draw 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 8. Yeah, that's pretty silly. Okay. It's kind of trash. Virulence. Love it. Okay. I have all 3 colors. This will do, donkey. Alright, so turn 1. Draw a card. We'll play Watery Grave tapped. Then we'll go to turn 2. We will play this and play Winding Constrictor. Go to turn 3. Sweet. I don't think, I mean, it would be get First Strike, Death Touch, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, Lifelink, Flying. You know what? Oh, I don't. Alright. Turn 3, I'm not really, yeah, let's play it. I feel like it's better than not playing it at all. And then we'll go to turn 4. We'll Spark Double this. Just so counter gets 2 additional. Adding 1, right? Plus 1 more, yeah. So then we'll go to turn 5. Play Nesting Ground. Go here, here, here. Here. We will play my commander. Discard 1, 2, 3 cards. And it will get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, wait. 8 plus 6. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 counters on it. It would have Vigilance. Definitely has Lifelink. Add counter. Oh. Counter. Has Trample. Vigilance. Add a counter. Flying. Counter. Counter. Menace. Destructible. Destructible. Menace, indestructible, flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. Haste. Yeah. And then I would draw 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 cards. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 18. Honestly, I didn't draw that much good stuff, but when you have a... Oh, I would have drawn more. It's 3 per. So then I would have drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Ooh, baby. That's not terrifying. This deck's silly. Start. I'd risk this hand. So we're gonna Yavimaya into a bop. Turn 2. I missed the land drop. However, we're gonna play this. Go to turn 3. 4 mana already. We're gonna play Winding Constrictor, counter on it, and then we'll play the boot. Give Winding Constrictor Shroud. So it would have came in with 2 counters. Turn 4, Hopeful Palace, sweet deal. So I have the 2 colors, green, green. Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll play the commander. It will come in with 2 +1/+1 counters because of this. We'll do this. So it's going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 counters. So I'm going to draw 16 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. We'll discard this. Discard this. And then I already played a land, so I can't do anything else. But we'll flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, haste. Seems really good. And then I would keep 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6. 7. Graveyard. Then we'll go to turn 5. Play this. Actually, no. Play. We will reanimate you all. We will get Mimeoplasm. And then Mimeoplasm will exile this to be what it is and exile this for the 9 counters, which would be 10 counters. Oh god. Yeah, this deck's silly. 2, 3. We will put this on you. And then this. Yeah, this deck's great. I love it. Okay. Got 2 green sources and nothing. All right, we got 4 mana, no green. Not gonna. Okay, this hand's not great, but it's keepable, I guess. We'll go here. So we will do that. Turn 1. Turn 2, we'll do this. Turn 3. Play this. Cast you. 4. This. Cast you. Which will get a counter. And then we'll this. Turn 5. We'll play this. I mean, I think I do it anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will indeed play Indominus. Ralph. Rex Alpha. We're only going to discard 1. Which means this thing will be indestructible. But it's going to get 1 counter here and 3 counters here. So 1, 2, 4. So I'm going to draw 5 cards off of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I will discard. We'll discard. I think I'm really far away from that actually being good. So then we'll go to the next turn. Soul Ring was actually clutch. Let's see here. What am I doing here? If I do green, green. So, Soul Ring. This. I think I need another. Cast it because you're only. Oh no, you're 10. So we'll do that and that. Then we will. This I'll have 1 colorless floating, and then we'll do this. Targeting this. So then it will come back. It'll get an additional counter from this. So we'll have 5 plus 4 more. So 9 cards I draw. 6, 7, 9. I haven't played a land. I don't think I did. So I mean, play the birds. It's going to be a massive bird. Play the Ozolith with one. We draw a card for the bird. Yeah, this deck's pretty cool. It doesn't do much until turn 5, but when turn 5 happens, it's absolutely bonkers. Give it one more go. We'll see what happens. This hand's not great, but play this. Go to turn 2. Play this and this. Go to turn 3. Play this. Cultivate. Let's grab a swamp and wrist. Swamp. Shuffle. Turn 4. Play this. 2, 5. I have 6, so we'll do this, this, and this. I'll have this come in with a counter. View library, view all. That's 3. I guess. What's the name of that thing? There's a thing that has the 4 keywords. What is that? Paradise, Sherlock's, or on 2. See, it's hard, but I don't. Scavenge Brawler. for death touch. Close and shuffle. And we'll play Haunted. And then we'll go to turn 5. We'll play the Triumph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play our good friend Indominus Alpha Rex. Play this. So it's gonna get 1 counter for that, or for that guy. Flying, vigilance, trample, and life. So I will draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was actually a really bad draw. We'll just discard forest. Hand size, turn to graveyard 2. I don't think I need to reanimate this thing. So we'll go to turn 6. Yeah. And this deck's pretty cool. But we will continue this probably tomorrow. We're probably going to play this deck tomorrow. I'll see if Tim's interested. Also depends on what time I get done work tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be playing this deck tomorrow. Deck's really fun.